This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mjmunoz.com. This episode of Henshin Inspection is coming to you live from the Henshin Inspection mobile studio. I happen to have two co-anchors in here. They're mostly going to be silent, but if they want to make any noise, this is their opportunity.
Hi.
Okay, that's it, I guess. All right.
I'm gonna say hi.
Okay, say hi.
Hi.
All right, thank you very much. I will be discussing the bad and good of Geats, Kamen Rider Geats Episode 2 and Ace's True Face. So starting off with the credits, Kamen Rider Geats Episode 2 is called Encounter 1, Treasure Hunt and a Thief. It originally aired September 11, 2022. The writer is Yuya Takahashi, and the director is Shojiro Nakazawa. Starting off with the bad, things are unclear to me. Is it a new set of players each time that this game is played, the Desire Grand Prix? I don't really know. If so, why is Buffa back? Because, you know, he's there. Where'd the handsome bear dude go from last round? That was, I guess, the previous Danpa. Is that what it is? Danpa? And is that like just a mixed up version of Panda? It sounds like it to me. Anyway, and then like why are Neon and Keiwa part of the game this time? I don't really understand that. None of the mechanics of the game really make sense. Of course, none of them have really been laid out to us, so I'm just speculating and guessing, and I guess that's part of my problem. So I guess it's not them, it's me. Moving on to the good stuff. Geats playing at the game and with the rules is fun, like how he used his water gun for melee attacks and set up Keiwa as a dupe. These base suits are cleverly designed. The right shoulder armor becoming the left thigh armor is pretty slick, and I like the way they switch things up. Last thing for the good stuff is the player lounge is neutral ground. I think that's an interesting way to get players together, have tension set up, but not allow it to escalate because of the threat of disqualification. I think that's really smart. I think it's really clever. I think, I was kind of thinking about like the, another Yu Takahashi show, X8, when they had the, the CR, I was going to say the doctor's lounge, but really it was the CR lounge where they, rested and had breaks or whatever in between surgeries or in between dealing with bugster stuff. You got to see a little bit of clashing between the heroes there and just kind of thinking about the conflicts and everything. And I think eventually a later cast member to the sort of hero side gets added on. I'm trying to avoid spoilers here for X8. And that individual spends time in the CR break room as well, I believe is the case. Plus you get to see the straight-laced doctor dude, cutting all his sweets up. And, that's important for his character. Very important. Okay, moving on to the questions. Did Taira, the old dude who was the owl dude who was trying to save his son, did he choose to be part of the game? Did Neon and Keiwa? And, the reason I asked that is because Neon and Keiwa ran into each other. They were, I guess, near each other in that restaurant, which is kind of weird that they were so close to each other in that restaurant where his sister was watching Neon on her live stream show. What's the confluence of events that causes that to happen? But I believe that they were having soba the same day when he had the interview where he met Taira. Was Taira near them, or is it something about the presence of Mr. Raccoon Face? Keiwa. He doesn't actually look like a raccoon. Just that's his animal theme. So I'm having a hard time. Raccoon, Tycoon, Keiwa, Reiwa. It's all a mix. Anyway, but is like something about proximity to Keiwa what causes people to end up getting involved in the Rider game? I don't know. That doesn't make sense. He was not involved with this Desire Grand Prix before because he witnessed the action playing out as the last game ended and Geats or Ace became the champion. So I don't really know what's going on. And like it seems to me like I don't think Taira was part of the game before, right? That doesn't make sense because then he would have had previous knowledge. Yeah, none of this makes sense because we're not getting anything to explain to us. I feel like I'm watching an Inoue show. I like Inoue. I just like teasing. Anyway, I don't know if he got a chance to be a part of the game or not. We certainly didn't see him getting presented the choice. He was just like, hey, you've been selected, which I guess if it's a random selection, that makes a little more sense, but it also makes it a little more unlikely that they would all end up being selected when they had associated with each other that day, unless it's based on region. This zone or this area, people who were there, 10% of them or whatever, or 10 and whatever it was, some number are going to be chosen to be part of this game by whoever decides that, and I don't really get that, but whatever. I was gonna bring up an analogy of the birthday collision. Like if you have people who are all in a room, like 100 people in a room, the odds that 2 of them will have the same exact birthday as each other are like super low. And I'm familiar with that because of some background dabbling in like learning about internet security and systems tech. Like I was never a doer of that stuff. I was just kind of a learner and a listener of a security podcast and stuff, internet security. But anyway, I'll move on from there because I'm just talking about myself now instead of the show. And then like, I want to know why this navigator is here. I mean, obviously they need somebody to navigate them through the game, but yeah, I don't know. It's just weird that like she's the one that distributes the drivers as well. That doesn't really make sense to me. Her appearance in the opening and like holding the big Magnum gun up to Ace's face like really makes me wonder what her role is in this game, and if she's truly maybe she's the game master, but she's there to orchestrate it and pretend she's the navigator. That could be something going on. I don't know. She's suspicious though. And then I may have asked this last time too, but who's the power behind the game? Because there has to be some power behind the game because of everything that's being done by the game. And I don't buy it that they don't know who or what the Jamato are, and that they're like this invading force. That doesn't really make sense to me. And then last thing I want to know, this kind of blends into some of my other questions, is Buffa back because he didn't die last round? Because we saw the Danpa guy, Handsome Dan, oh, that's what I'll call him, Handsome Dan. We saw him get killed, and then he was out of the game, and Buffa was all excited because he had one less player to contend with, but then, Geats won, and I feel like there was one other guy there with them who got recycled through, but maybe there wasn't. Maybe it was just, it was just the 3 players left, and then Danpa died, and so we just had this guy, Buffa. So is it because he didn't die in the game that he got to come back for a second chance? Because it seems like he has his memories, but then again, the ID cores give people back their memories, which is a whole thing I don't want to get into right now. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the score. I give this episode an 8 out of 10. It was a solid start to a new game, I guess. I get the rules and see the general shape of the conflict. I get the rules generally, I should say. But some things just don't make sense, like I talked about it already. Ace is a blast, though. I like something about him. Maybe it is that I like the force behind the... sorry. Maybe it is that I, much like the force behind the Desire Grand Prix, sense he is up to something, and I want to see what that something is, especially because I feel like the Desire Grand Prix is like an evil institution and an evil thing that needs to be torn apart, and I feel like Ace might just be doing that. So, getting into the reflection real quick, what is Ace really about? How long has he been in this game? Is he stuck? Is he trying to destroy it from within? Which I kind of touched on those ideas. I don't know how long he's been in this game. I believe, he knew that he was being chosen in the beginning when we saw him at the seashore, right? And then he started a game, it seems, and that was 6 months that got ended real quick by the end of the first episode, where he was starting the game again. And that navigator lady never acknowledges him that he's been through the game before. She just comes up and says her thing, and then is done. Kind of like an NPC, they don't tell you, oh, this is New Game Plus. You just get to do things a little differently. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess this is his third one. It's making me think of like Samsara, which is, I believe that's the correct name for the cycle of death and rebirth in like the Hindu religion. I was going to say mythology, but I'll be nice and say religion. At least I can say cosmology. That works, right? Anyway, so like, is it this endless cycle of death and rebirth where you're trying to do something and like whoever the powers that be are over this game, like they benefit from it somehow? I feel like that's what's going on, and I feel like I touched about that in my last analysis, so I'm not going to go on about that for too much longer. I just think something about Ace, one thing I like about Ace, just as a tangent, he looks like Thouser, and I always liked the face actor for Thouser. There was something really charming about him and something cool, even when he was reduced to a more comedic role after his redemption. Spoilers for 01. I guess if you didn't know he was from 01, I just spoiled that for you. Sorry. Anyway, you should watch 01. It's a pretty solid show. Anyway, also a Yuya Takahashi show. Anyway, but yeah, I like something about him. He's a charming guy, solid guy. He's funny in like a very subtle, subdued way, and I feel like he's doing something really good and noble and heroic, and I'm all for that, especially because I feel, like I said again, that this is like some twisted, sick game that somebody's putting together, and he's trying to take it apart from the inside. I guess by winning a bunch? I don't know. So, we'll see as things go on. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Check out the other reviews for Dawn Bros and for Dawn Bros 28, I believe, and Futo PI episode 7. Those should be out by the time you're hearing this, because this is the last show I record during the week. And the cycle's starting all over again. Get ready for superhero time to come at you pretty quickly, and for me to cover those as well. Check out all the stuff I have over at mjmunoz.com, and I want to let you know that I've contacted an artist who I think will work with me. We need to negotiate things for this Godzilla-inspired children's tokusatsu picture book, and I'm very excited about that. So we will see what happens. I will keep you updated. Until next time, folks, this is MJ signing out. I leave you with peace and blessings. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you can find more at mjmunoz.com, as well as my entire library of analysis, art, and fiction.